chick, she don't know that I can patient. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the ball down one. 6 months in, I ain't down once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She says she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat. I'm just hoping she don't fail. Cause when she do, I don't know what I'ma do. All that I heard that y'all was talking, it was comical. Pull up in your city for the evening, what you trying to do? Cause I'm open to it. I know that you missing, but you gon' get through it. I can help with it if you need that. Go and bring the beat back. I don't really listen to the feedback, nah. Told me that she good, she don't need jack, nah. I'm real proud of the steps you took just to get to the place that you at today. I couldn't tell you to you straight, I gotta estimate. I wonder if I ought to go here with the pastor say. Now go ahead, get me out of here, I couldn't last today. I got the city talking about me like a passed away. Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the ball down one. 6 months in, I ain't once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She says she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat. Ooh, and she felt intrigued. Trying to duck the LMP. Go and get yourself esteem. And she trying to link up. So much we got synced up. Pulled up in the dinged up whip. This ain't Pepto Biz, what this pink stuff is. Long tell me. Yeah, you heard me, you ain't feel me. I've been moving out of shit.
Today, from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. Philadelphia Eagles taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Moore on the return.
The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Anytime anyone throws for over 300 yards in a game, you know their name is going to be considered for Offensive Player of the Week. And in the AFC last week, our guy got it.
Yeah, he was the guy on top of his game. He'll try to duplicate that here in this one. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And boy, showing how tough he can be to bring down, just fighting his way forward to pick up 7 yards. Draw play, Ingram now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
Ravens.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
A gain of 15.
On the counter, Ingram. Brought down by Nate Gary. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz. That they just had against them.
3rd down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And a great move again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Touchdown.
14 yards. And the Ravens have taken the early lead.
Justin Tucker.
Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind, you're thinking Lamar Jackson getting the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. We get our first look now at Carson Wentz and this Philadelphia Eagle offense.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about, let's take that forward now. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. 2nd down. The numbers for Sanders last week, 17 carries, 66 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that will be incomplete. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Breaks a tackle. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you're head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
13 yards.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. Now you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
This pass complete. Jackson finding Andrews. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
Tucker lining up for
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up first and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he finds his tight end, it's Ertz. And from the 25, they work this to the 29. A gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
And 6 at the 29-yard line.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
This pass complete. Wentz to Ertz. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
Marquise Goodwin. That's good for an Eagles. The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd down. Wentz. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Derek Wolfe able to record his 5th sack of the season. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
Chris Moore on the return.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 37.
Marquise Brown.
It's a big play there for Baltimore. 51 yards. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Willie Snead with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Justin Tucker lining up for the extra point.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. And it is now 21-0. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Justin Tucker.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Wentz now on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, but it's going to be second down.
Second and 10 at the 25.
Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
That's good for an Eagle.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up.
As Sanders has it poked free, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defense.
Got a man, it's caught. For a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front.
Justin Tucker.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Out comes the Ravens defense now as they get ready for the next possession. And for their efforts so far, they deserve a little defensive montage here.
I like that. I like how you recognize what they're doing out there and how much fun they're having, because that's indeed what's going on. Beating them to the punch just about every snap now. Swarming, swooping, taking the ball away. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Opportunistic, right?
Very much so.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are... Worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get your Set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Eagles on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Wentz. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. And he's going to go down again. Calais Campbell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz on the give to Sanders, and he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Moore on the return. Powerful running and just bowling over tacklers. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 26 yards on the play there. And it's going to yield a new set of downs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And that one, no contest thus far. 17-3 the score at the half. Joe Mixon, well on his way to a 100-yard afternoon. From there, we head to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And they've gone to the half in that ball game with the visiting Browns out on top. Odell Beckham, a touchdown catch in that first half. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
To kick off for Baltimore.
It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. That's fielded on the back line of the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
There's the ball carrier.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Wentz now on first down. This short throw caught by Goddard, and he goes out right around the 39. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. To throw, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. That took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat of this ball game as well. On first down, Tucker, and he's going to let it go deep. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. On 1st and 10, Tucker, and he's going to let it go deep. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it it winds up incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
So the lanes continue to be there for Lamar Jackson to run that football. That his second touchdown run of the game.
You know what I would like? I'd like for us to be able to go into a defense's room after playing Lamar Jackson and watch the tape and see how much of a lane was really there and how much he created just through his talents. In any event, Lamar Jackson finds the end zone, doesn't he?
He always seems to, but that's a good point. We sometimes put blame on the defense. Maybe we just need to praise Lamar Jackson a little bit more.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Malik Harrison
in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. Fumbles, that's how you get in the coach's doghouse. The first one lost and it hurt. This time you lose it and it's taken in for a score. It really hurt.
And about that doghouse, it won't exactly be comfortable, and it definitely won't be air conditioned.
Milk bones?
None.
Tucker now for the extra point.
For the extra point.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look.
And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
A gain of a yard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll go again with Sanders. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3rd down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
To throw is Wentz. The reception made by Alshon Jeffrey.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course...
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
Wiggles free. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds. A big play that time for the Ravens. 64 yards. So how about this for a change in field position from inside the 10. Here's first down on the other side of the field. From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Brandon Graham applied the heat off the edge. Here's Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but it'll be second down.
It's second down.
Here's Ingram. And shedding through the tackle. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And this is caught at the 8. And the Ravens are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on 3rd. Down to that sets up a first and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Complete to
Mark Ingram.
Touchdown.
His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Tucker now to add the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive goes 8 plays.